everyone. My name is Junyi. Today I will share a study that teaches pedagogical choices in teaching techniques of music in Beijing music classes. Dr. Junyi, my academic supervisor, has collaborated with me to finish the research project. This is my outline. Now we look at the abstract. In brief, this paper looks at how teachers translate musical pieces into cultural understanding for students. It focuses on how cultural knowledge is presented through classroom talk and tasks, and how teachers interpret textbook requirements when making instructional decisions. The study uses a qualitative multiple case approach, combining classroom observations, semi-structured teacher interviews, and teaching materials. The analysis uses within-case and cross-case comparison to identify patterns and meaningful variation. Then is introduction. Chinese ethnic folk music is frequently included in lower secondary music curricula. Yet, what students learn from the same repertoire can differ greatly across classes. The difference often lies in teaching choices, how the teacher frames cultural context, how much explanation is provided, and how classroom activities guide students to listen, sing, discuss, and reflect. Participation design is also central. Who gets to contribute? What kinds of response are encouraged? And how learning opportunities are distributed? These everyday decisions are the focus of the present study. And then is conceptual background and analytical lens. The study adopts multicultural music education as an analytical lens. Here, multiculturalism is used to ask specific classroom questions about representation, participation opportunities, and equity, rather than as a general statement. Bank's 5 dimensions provide a structured reference for identifying observable indicators in license. The study also draws on enacted curriculum to focus on what actually happens through tasks and teacher talk. In addition, the hidden or new curriculum perspective helps interpret a mission and think of cultural explanation as meaningful evidence in classroom practice. This is my methodology. The first part is research design. The study uses a qualitative multiple case design. Each case is defined as a teacher level, combining what is observed in lessons with the teacher's explanations of instructional choices collected through interviews. This supports 2 layers of understanding. Within case analysis documents how meaning-making and participation are organized across lesson phrases, while cross-case comparison identifies shared patterns and meaningful differences across contexts. The design is well suited to explaining how teachers interpret curriculum materials and transform them into classroom practice. Part 2 is sites and participants. Study is suited in Beijing public lower secondary schools, covering grades 7 to 9. Multiple schools and teachers are included so that classroom practices can be compiled across settings. Teachers are selected purposefully to ensure they teach curriculum-based units that include Chinese ethnic folk music. The teacher is the main unit of analysis because the focus is on pedagogical choices and decision-making mechanism in music classes. Part 3 is data sources and procedures. Data come from 3 sources. First, classroom observations capture lesson phrases, teacher explanations, task design, student responses, and the use of materials and media. Second, semi-structured interviews are conducted after observations and use episode-based prompts. So teachers can explain reasons behind specific choices about cultural explanation and participation. Third, teaching materials are collected, including textbook pages used, teacher-prepared resources, and audio or video materials. Together, these sources allow the study to connect curriculum resources with enacted classroom practice. Part 4 is analytical approach. Analysis proceeds in 2 steps. The first is within case analysis. For each teacher, observation notes, transcripts, interview data, and materials are organized into episodes and encoded for cultural meaning-making and participation structures. Thanks dimensions guides the search for comparable indicators across lessons. The second step is a cross-case comparison, where lessons are developed by comparing episodes and codes across teachers and schools. Interview data have linked observed episodes with teachers' stated rationales so interpretations remain grounded. Then part 5 is ethics and trustworthiness. Procedures protect participants and support responsible reporting. Consent is obtained from schools and teachers and from guardians when required. Pseudonyms are used and identifying details are removed from transcripts. Trustworthiness is strengthened through triangulation of observations, interviews, and teaching artifacts, and through an auditory linking excerpts, codes, and analytic memos. Where feasible, interview transcripts or summarized can be shared with teachers to confirm accuracy. Then is anticipated contributions. The study contributes in 3 main ways. First, it develops classroom-based themes describing how cultural knowledge is elaborated, simplified or left implicit when teaching Chinese ethnic folk music. Second, it offers an evidence point framework grounded in Banks dimensions, translating broad multicultural concerns into observable indicators. Third, it shows a clear procedure for linking classroom episodes to teachers' decision-making rationales through episode-based interviewing and comparative analysis. These contributions support more rigorous classroom-based discussion of multicultural aims in music education. And then is conclusion. To conclude, the paper integrates a clear analytic lens with a practical multiple case design to examine teachers' pedagogical choices in Beijing music classes. It focuses on how cultural meaning are constructed in classroom talk and tasks, and how participation structures shape students' access to those meanings. By combining classroom evidence with teachers' explanations, the study offers a grounded account of how curriculum materials are interpreted and transformed into interactive classroom practice. The comparative perspective also supports broader discussion about equity and participation in music education. And then is my acknowledgement and conflict of interest statement. And the last is my references. Thank you all for listening.